Good morning, Producer Brandon. We appreciate that. It's Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, the only locally owned radio station here in Bedford County, about 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro. It's so far, well, I'm not going to say it's a sunny day out there, but it's a pleasant day so far. But pay attention to the heat, folks. I think it's even going to get worse next week. So stay safe out there and hydrate quite a bit. It's that time of the month where we have Bedford County Mayor Chad Graham to come in and talk about things going on in county government, and certainly he's got some things to talk about today. Good morning, Mayor.
I thought you would say we didn't have anything to talk about. Good morning, and I'm glad to be with you.
No, you've been to talk. I don't know how else to put it there, brother.
That happens sometimes.
But, and, of course, what I'm referring to is, of course, your announcement that you're not going to run for re-election next year. All the county, or not all of them, but most of the county offices are up for re-election next year. County Commission, Sheriff, Mayor, your job.
Absolutely.
And I know you've decided to step down at that point. So what's going on?
Yeah, well, of course, I had an official announcement that has some good information in it, but I don't mind reflecting back on really how did I get here in the first place. And
there you go.
Of course, my background's in public safety and
many years.
Yep, paramedic and nurse, and run the 911 EMS system for many years. And it became apparent to me earlier in my career that I was racking up time in county government, which is important toward retirement and those things. But it doesn't necessarily reflect, or how do you get off of that train someday?
Right.
And so, and certainly want to be able to provide for my family, and was trying to feed.
It is important.
And feed
it's important. Yeah.
And so, me and my wife a long time ago started looking at what would a career look like, and where would the beginning, and we knew where the beginning was, where was the end going to be,
right,
and how was that going to work. And so we made a decision a long time ago to explore the opportunity to run for mayor. I felt like being a department head and working in the government system on a daily basis, that there were some real opportunities maybe for some enhancements or next generation thinking regarding that. And so we went into motion. And so 10 years earlier than running, I got on the school board, and I recognized then it was one, you need to prove you could get elected to something, right, before you ask for the highest office in the county.
And the biggest chunk of the budget.
And
I mean, so you really got to learn the school system.
And you're right on it. And it's
second largest employer in the county.
That's exactly right. And right, very complicated.
Yep.
State, federal, local funds all intermixed together. Of course, we had a real appreciation and wanted to give back to the school system, having had a son with special needs go through that school system, and has been very successful. We're public education people. We believe in that, and we believe that the parent has a huge role to play in that. And along with supporting the structure to make sure the opportunities are there, a child that has difficulty learning can be successful, and a child that can excel can be successful. And we have both of those in our own family environment, and we're products of the school system, and we're proud of that system. And so I thought it was a real opportunity to get my feet wet, figure out what was going on. Of course, again, still serving as the director of EMS. And so the journey began. And so in 2018 was the decided time to go forward. And long story short regarding that, really, by God's grace, we got elected, and the thought was always one opportunity would change our life, and a second term would be more than enough. If we couldn't accomplish what we was trying to do, and if we couldn't be where we wanted to be at that time, then I needed to really look hard at what else might need to happen in my life before we go to the next chapter. And so, again, by God's grace, we won the first time. We were reelected, and it was never my intent to run for a third term. Now, it was never my intent to tell anybody that either, because as you know, in politics, kill shot to you politically when people, if they perceive or know that you're not going to run again, or know when you're planning to step off. And so that's it was a personal decision. It was a tough decision. We made that decision many years ago. We've had to tweak the plan along the way, but in good public safety fashion, at the end of the day, stick to the plan, and that's what
a self-imposed 2-term limit.
How about that?
How about that?
And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, I'm actually a believer in term limits. I know in some instances it's not appropriate, depending on what the elected office is.
Sure.
But I do think that you kind of get in trying to accomplish what you need to accomplish, and then give somebody else the opportunity.
Right. And it's a big job. I mean, people think about
24/7.
It is. It is that
365 days a year.
That's right. One of the funny moments after I got elected, the county attorney said, "Congratulations, you're the county mayor," which that sounded nice. And then he looked at me and said, "You understand that you're the mayor 24/7, 365, and if you're on the beach in Florida and there's a problem, you're still the mayor. You can't excuse yourself from it, and your decision stands whether you're behind the desk or by phone." And those are some real...
Well said by our county attorney.
It sure was. It was real enlightening. It made it really real. I'd won, and I knew I was coming in, and I thought I knew a little bit about what I was getting into, and in some ways I did, but there's a lot of ways I didn't.
Well, even as the EMS director, that's 24/7.
It is. It is, absolutely.
So you were used to that, being on call, basically.
That's right. Christmas morning, New Year's Eve, whatever the job called for, we stood ready to respond, and so does all of our good public safety people that we have today.
Absolutely.
And you come from that environment too. And I was familiar with the concept of 24/7, and thought it was a natural progression, having had the roles and opportunities that I'd had to come into this point. But I didn't want. I had a vision for what I thought I wanted to do. And of course, you've heard 100 times: education, public safety, and infrastructure. But
that's what the government does.
It's what it's supposed to do.
What it's supposed
to be
right.
A focus and of importance.
It's supposed to be all things to all people.
That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. Those things that have to be done, like education, public safety, infrastructure. Yep.
Yeah, and I think we'll have some opportunities to reflect on what that stuff really means practically, from the eyes or the experience of the mayor going forward. So I'm hoping that we can pivot to a series going forward that maybe is reflection points and topics that are relevant to my experience in the role, not what Chad believes or what a candidate might say.
What it actually is.
But what was the roles of the mayor? What role did you play in some of these key components that are part of daily operating and overseeing and being a CEO of over 350 employees, full-time, daily, $150 million plus budget, a total financial structure that has to be able to operate independently, but you have to be aware of what's going on in it. It's really, from my perspective, it's been a fascinating ride. I'm grateful to have been a part of it, and I'm excited to say we're going to leave it better than we found it, and that's, at the end of the day, really what I set out to do. 35 years in the state retirement system, leave it better than I found it.
Folks, are talking to Bedford County Mayor Chad Graham on his decision not to run for re-election next time, and talking about how county government operates and some reflections there. But we're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Here at Farm Credit Mid-America, we want to get to know you and your story. We are a member-owned cooperative offering a range of loan products. So when you find that incredible land tract that you've been longing for that fits into your story, give me a call, Jonathan Boyce, at 931-212-0101, or come by and see me, 1908 Madison Street, here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
United Communications builds connections you can rely on. Whether it's fast internet for your home or business, our fiber network is designed for your community. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from real people. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local internet.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County. It's that time of the month that we have Bedford County Mayor Chad Graham come in and talk about various things going on in county government. Today, Mayor, we're focused on the fact that you made an official announcement about a week and a half ago that you're not going to be running for re-election. And basically, I'm looking forward to this series you're going to do over the next several months that's left in your term about reflections and basically kind of what government's all about, because I think a lot of people, they may perceive what being the county mayor is, but they may think it's like a photo op opportunity or something. I mean, there's obviously photo ops involved, but 99% of the time that's not the case, and it's a lot of hard work. And what are two or three of the top challenges you face? I mean, you were very familiar with county government already since you've been part of it for a long time, and you worked directly for the mayor. So, I mean, you were in that office quite a bit.
Right.
But what do you kind of see as kind of, for anybody that may want to follow you down the road, let's do a little reality check here.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is it doesn't have to be slanted or jaded to politics.
No. I'm just talking about what's reality. What reality is day to day. Yeah, what do you see as the top 2 or 3 challenges?
When the lights come on and the door shuts behind you, here's what's
there. You go.
Yeah, no question. The number one challenge, and I think I knew from 20,000 feet that the number one challenge was going to be growth. People were coming to, I said this on the campaign trail, people are coming to Bedford whether you like it or not. The question is, are we going to live with what shows up, or are we going to go after what we want? Well, that really has haunted me, if that's a way to think about it, just internally.
You've talked it publicly, you've talked it many times.
Yeah, because the census data suggests that we're tracking about 1,000 people a year coming into Bedford. At 54,000 or so that we're at now, and of course I remember when the population for the whole city and county wasn't half that, but
28,000. I remember growing up for the whole county. Yep.
That's right. So that really is certainly a huge challenge,
because we're talking schools, infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Number of ambulances, number of deputy sheriffs.
Solid waste, making sure.
There's a huge issue, solid waste, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that is really coming into focus. It's always been a situation out there that you better manage it or it'll manage you, but it's becoming more apparent every day in regards to that. So no question, just the fast clip in which people are coming in to the community, expecting, needing, and quite frankly, through taxing, are paying for fundamental government services. So you could really spend all your time just trying to make sure that stays in motion. We've never been able to catch up to where we ought to be. My standard has been all along national standards and best practices for all the areas that we hold responsibility. Right. We strive for that. We're making great strides in all of those areas, but we're not overperforming in any particular area of government. So looking or thinking about cut and gut or tax reduction or those things would really, I'm not saying there's not a place for it, and we certainly want to be efficient and lean, and we want to be respectful and fair, but there is a cost to do business, and so that's a second challenge in that is what can the market bear reasonably in resources to put into the system for us then to take that and make sure that the fundamental services of what government is and is
it's
not.
It's a real balancing act.
That is.
I mean, it truly is.
And it doesn't matter who's in charge, and it doesn't matter what party they're from, and it doesn't matter what
really
walk of life.
No.
That's just the nature of it. And then there's no question. Social media, public expectation, people's demeanor and interactions in general over the last many years. Of course, I came in 2018, but we've seen this in public safety, and we still see it in public safety even before this role. But people are much more aggressive, much more, I don't know if demanding would be the right word, but certainly they have high expectations of what somebody's going to do for them. And we want to meet those things where we can, but the government cannot be all things to all people, and that's not popular to be said sometimes. And then sometimes you just have to say no, and that's really not popular.
You know, I've told you this before, when I first became a county commissioner 3 years ago, most of the stuff I got was somebody wanted to ask about a roads thing, or they wanted to ask about schools thing, or, what's going on with this grant. About a year ago or a year and a half ago, almost every single call I get has to do with, okay, I saw this on social media. I don't really trust social media. It has to do with county government. This is the issue. Tell me what's really going on. That's the number one thing I get now, by far. And I do appreciate those folks that are interested in trying to find out what's really going on and what's really happening and doing. But that's been a huge change just in the last couple of years, at least for me, being in government, is somebody said to me not too long ago, and I thought this was interesting, and I'm sure it's not just this way in Bedford County, it's other places, but they said social media, or much of it, has become a cancer on the health and well-being of the community. But the flip side of that is I spent 23 years in the military protecting people's First Amendment rights to basically say what they want to. So I have to defend folks,
sure,
even if I don't agree with them.
Right.
But I defend their right to do it. Right. But, there's so much false information out because people get real brave behind the keyboard at night, don't they?
They
really do, don't they?
They surely do. And it's really just this pretty much one-way communication. They're really at liberty to say anything they want. And, again, I value that. I do think there ought to be some accountability for truth in it at some point, but that's not how it works. Whenever you accept the role as a politician or a public servant, the public certainly has the right to speak out against its government.
Absolutely. I defend that right. Yep.
And I do too.
Yep. You serve too.
So no question about that. But it is frustrating because there's really no good platform to correct the record, if you want to think about it that way, when people just put stuff out just to say things. There doesn't have to be, in the old days, even the old newspaper used to, at some point, if they had totally misquoted or misdirected on an issue, it might be on the back page in small print, but it says, "We regret the error." There's no such thing in the world we live today. It's shake off your boots and go on to the next slanderous. Somebody called it gentle slander, which I thought that was sort of an interesting way to look at it. But people are in the business now of smearing politicians, whether we've earned and owned part of our bad reputation, but we are not, everyone is not the same, and not every bad decision by one should reflect on all. But that is sort of the world we live in. Public safety lives with that sometimes too. You can get a bad cop, you can get a bad medic, you can get a bad firefighter, but the men and women that do this on the daily basis are honorable.
And they're doing it right.
And they're doing it right. They're standing in the gap for your benefit on a daily basis, and people really ought to reflect on that, but that's not the world we live in today.
No, it's not. I mean, Chief Phillips and Sheriff Swing and I have talked about that many times, how a few bad officers around the country have made it where 99% of the officers are doing what they're supposed to. For sure. I've spent 20 years working part-time on patrol at the Sheriff's Department. I've never seen an officer one time do something they shouldn't have done. Right. But that doesn't mean there's some that don't, know. But please don't color everybody that way just because, just like with politicians, right?
That's right. But that's the world we live in. I own that. I knew whenever
if you're going to get into elected business, expect that you got to own that. You're going to have to be part of that, and you're going to be a target. Whatever decision you make, it doesn't matter because there's somebody against it. And it's always been that way. Yeah. It's just a little more
right. And that's why it's important. I think you should, for people that want to run for office or really want to get involved. If you can't love people you better not get in this business. Now, I don't mean I love everybody. I strive to. But you got to love people. You got to believe in something greater than yourself. And you better come with a vision for what you want to do, because there's so many distractions and so many landmines planted in advance that you'll spend all your time just figuring out how to get across the floor, you might say, and never get anything done if you don't really have those fundamental components locked down in your mind. That's Chad 101. Other politicians may say it different.
And it gets down to the point of, why do you want to serve? Now, I've told you this story before. When I first became a commissioner, I went to in the state of Tennessee, county commissioners, I think it's important, have to go to an education program to learn a little bit more about government.
That's right.
And Charlie Curtis, who's the guru for county commissioners, and everybody talks about Charlie all the time, but
absolutely,
when he got up to speak, and I didn't know who he was. I do now, of course, I've been a commissioner. Right. But he got up and he looked around the room, and there's probably 200 and some of us in a room from around the state. He said, a whole bunch of you, or at least a chunk of y'all, ran for the wrong reason. Personal vendettas. You don't like somebody. You're going to try and go after somebody. And he said, that is not a reason to govern.
Amen.
If you want to build something, if you want to make something better, then do that. But don't have personal vendettas to go after somebody, because that's not good government. And that resonated with me, and some of the things I've observed since then. But I mean, it really resonated with me that if you're going to do this, it's a part-time gig. Being a county commissioner or being a city councilman, whatever it is, please do it for the right reasons and try and build something. Eugene Ray, when he was mayor, and you and I both worked for him, he used to say all the time, I work with people every day I don't like. He said, but if we're going to all try and make things better, I'm going to work with them. Yeah, I mean, he said that all the time.
And you got to.
And I think you feel the same way.
Yeah, at the point that I didn't feel like I can lay aside my personal differences to continue to stay focused on the mission and the vision, then you need to step away. And there's certainly even right here in Bedford, there's no question. I don't think it's no big secret. There are people that ran for office and simply because they feel I've wronged them in a different life, and so that goes with the business. And and I came into office with some ideas of things I wanted to do, and so when you pivot from go along to get along to true administrator and with some vision about where you want to go, you're going to make some people uncomfortable and unhappy, and that's unfortunate. But I'm grateful for the successes we had. And then, as I've said all along, I didn't run to get reelected. I run to make the system better.
Right.
And I believe we've done that. And we've done that by people like you and all the other men and women that serve with us. Not only on the commission, we've had to have unity with enough votes to keep things moving, even when people were obstructionists. And then within the county government itself, the one thing I really wanted to do, and it's the secret sauce to success, is empower your leadership and your employees. I don't make the ambulance calls every day. I used to be capable of making a call, but I can't do it all. The sheriff can't make all of the arrest and the patrol and things that go on there. The fire chief can't be at every event that happens. We must have highly trained, qualified people that we believe in and empower them to do their job. And then from the mayor's role, it was critical to raise the standard and empower our department heads to bring that next level of efficiency down to those departments. It was critical. It's one of the things that I'm proud to have been a part of. Again, with the county's growth and the things that are going, those department heads and the staff have got to have the resources and the tools to do their job. Otherwise, we're setting them up for failure.
And we're almost out of time, Mayor.
What?
But I know. But you got a whole series of things you're going to do over the next several months, and we're looking forward to that. But
I'm excited.
I don't want to go off the air without saying, of course, the county passed its budget, no tax increase.
Yes,
and
I'm proud of that as
there
well.
were some things that didn't get funded. There were some needs out there.
Sure.
But I think the critical things got funded.
They did, and we're certainly working for and looking for solutions that could set outside the budget to address the things we were not able to bring into the fold this time.
And it goes to say again, and of course there was a recognition at a county commission meeting, but I say the finance department, but all the department heads earned that clean audit award from the comptroller himself from the state of Tennessee who came down here. Right. So obviously the money's being managed right and accounted for.
Oh yeah,
we appreciate
just got the highest rating from Moody's for our financial strength. And so again, it speaks volumes to, again, the commitment of the leadership, and the leadership is not not one person. It's not just the mayor. It's not just the finance director. It's all the departments. It's the commissioners that stand by us and support unity as we go forward. And I hope we have nothing but that going forward. I'm really excited for what the future is going to hold for Bedford.
Well, Mayor, we appreciate you coming in today and talk a little bit about your decision to move on in life. But you still got a bunch of months left to govern.
Yeah,
you still got a lot of work to do.
It's still work every day.
Yeah, every that's right.
That's right.
But we appreciate you and coming in and talk to the public about that, folks. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. We do appreciate all the support we get from our advertisers nowadays, because we get a whole bunch of folks now, including United Communications, Fast and Local Internet, Farm Credit, Mid-America out there on the east side of town, securing the future of rural communities and agriculture, and, of course, Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing, and everybody knows Kincaid Service Company, where service has been their middle name since 1934. We appreciate all the folks stepping up and helping us provide these programs, because the radio station does not charge these government agencies and nonprofit do that to step up and help us support that. So, folks, as we always say, we got 10 or 11 or so, depending on what time of the month it is, government-related talk shows every month where we're in horse country here, folks. But if you want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth and not third person, you tune in right here and find out what's really going on. Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. Till next time.
At United Communications, we're more than just fast internet. We're your local connection to reliability and service you can count on, right here in Bedford County. With fiber fast speeds and a team in your local community, we keep you connected when it matters most. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from people who care. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local, internet.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Here at Farm Credit Mid-America, we want to get to know you and your story. We are a member-owned cooperative offering a range of loan products. So when you find that incredible land tract that you've been longing for that fits into your story, give me a call, Jonathan Boyce, at 931-212-0101, or come by and see me, 1908 Madison Street, here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.
Find WLIJ 98.7 on Google Play and the App Store. The leader in pure classic country. 98.7 and AM